Shalom, once again all praises, honor and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone and salutations to all you sincere can. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And this is an article from the Atlanta Black Star. What's in the world? White women exposed for allegedly coaching each other on how to lock down black athletes after leaked texts go viral. Right, and we are in those times, man. We are in those times. And let me just yeah, I don't think when to go and close by itself. Let me just go to that precept. That is, I believe that is the book of Isaiah 4 and 1. Right, so this is the book of Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Can. And this is just a small example of how it will be, right? How it will be in these last days, of course, when it comes to the men of the Lord, because now in this case, you see these black athletes, Jake that gets into, especially Jake especially in Babylon the Great. Of course, the same thing is happening in Europe as well with the football players, right? But mainly speaking of Jake in Babylon the Great, Jake that gets the college scholarship, the full ride, right? He gets the D1 offers, right? The college scholarship, and eventually goes to a major sports league where they earn millions of dollars in contracts. That's why you have this trend of Eve, right? The so-called black women and even other so-called black men asking, why is it that all these black athletes always end up with white women? Why is it that all these black athletes always have white wives? And this is the reason why right here. Because these so-called white women are actively hunting Jake down and trying to lock them down early before they even leave college, right? Before they even leave college. And Jake has been, hey man, brother, different Jakes have been talking about this, especially the red pill content creators. They are always mentioning how all these that is very clear that the reason why, right? A lot of the so-called black man, right? A lot of these so-called black athletes deal with these white women so much is basically because they are locking them down from college. They are taking care of them. They are doing so much more for them than the nigger woman ever would, because those white women understand. And we will read the text, we will read the content, and you will see for yourself what these white women have to say about the Jake athletes. Right? Let's keep reading it. Living a life of luxury is as simple as trapping a top NFL draft pick the moment he steps on campus. College-age women are skipping classroom lectures for tips on how to snag prospective football and NBA stars, and they just got exposed. And this is something that has been happening for a long time, right? I even heard about how a lot of these so-called white women usually go to these African American study courses, right, and take those courses, take those credits in order to better understand the so-called black man, right? Because let's just keep reading, all right? Let's just keep reading, right? So this is now a white woman went viral after sharing a so-called playbook to snagging a black NFL player, securing a lifetime bag. An online debate surfaced after alleged messages exposed what's been described as a white college student scheme to attract and keep wealthy black athletes. No, this isn't related to the video. Screenshots from an alleged text thread involving a student identified as Helen M. and her roommate Lexi and Lexi's sister quickly went viral after being shared by the Bish Gossip. And I don't really have, and let me see if I can find those images. Actually, I have the images right here. Um, I'll probably just have the images. Let me just bring them out. I'll probably just put them as the thumbnail for the video. All right. The Bish Gossip. That's on IG, but that's too far away to bring out. Let's just do this instead. Bish Gossip. White woman, black. White woman, black athletes. Just try and use let's try and use keywords, right, in order to see whether we can get the information that we need. Because I want to also show the actual images because it's a text thread, right? This is what I'm talking about right here. So we have only one so far. But let's just use this one anyway. I think there's actually three of them. There's three threads. Okay, yeah. There's three threads. Man, it's a bit difficult to show you, and I don't have IG right now. So let me try to see if I can. Okay, okay. I don't need to open up IG. They will force me to open up IG. They will force me to go to Instagram, and I don't have Instagram. So this is the thread right here. So this is the Healing M you're talking about. So she says, "Tell me why my roommate's sister is giving her a full tutorial on how to secure a top athlete and wealth. All my sister gave me some condoms and $200 for college." Right. So you have sister. Okay. Yeah. So you have this so-called white woman teaching her younger sister how to basically deal with a lot of these Jake athletes that are in college, these Jakes that are in college, right? And they're basically preparing for the NFL, the NBA draft, right? Because actually, I've seen the contracts these niggas get, man. The rookie contract is like what? The average rookie contract is like what? $1.8 million a year, right? And if these guys go for a high, or and these guys are, high picks, right? Top picks, they could easily get 200 $300 million throughout their career, and that is not even including endorsements. And now with the way college is set up, that recently college started allowing you to have NIL deals all the way in college, so now you can even have endorsements as you are in college. You could already be making millions just playing in the NCAA, just being in college. I know these top draft picks that are going to the NBA and NFL, right? Even before they touch the first NBA game, sign a rookie contract, they're already making hella guap, they're already making a lot of money. Okay, so these white women, right? They understand that's important to get these jigs early. They see the potential, right? They see that it's not even really potential. The wealth is already there. They see the wealth. They understand, basically they understand who the prize is, right? That's the big spoiler right there. They understand who the prize is, and they start dealing with them early, right? And that's really why I'm doing this video right here, because they can see this, right? In They can see, the price of these men in the world right now. And sure enough, through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we are in this truth, right? We have more value, right? That's why the apostles always say that the real high value man is a man of the Lord, right? We have more value through the spirit than these dudes that are getting all these jakes that are getting all this money, right? Because they are the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Another precept that scripture says, "I will make a man as gold," right? And the golden. Let's just get this. So this is the book of Isaiah 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man more than the golden wedge of Ophir. Right. And that's why you see that, when these troubling times, right? These perilous times come, even you're going to see more women act even more. Basically Isaiah 4 verse 1. Okay, so let's just read this. Let's just read this right here. "I want a football player, NFL preferably, a tall chocolate one, like you did. I want your life." Right, and another thing right here is you see how these Edomite women, they are so-called white men, of course those are still jakes as well, right? But they are still so-called, a lot of them are still jakes, like Cooper Flag that just recently got into the NBA, it's going playing like crazy. That has to be a jake, man. A lot of these so-called white men that get into the NFL and the NBA, they're still technically jakes. Tom Brady's a jake, Travis Kelce, I think, yeah, he's a jake too. And I'm thinking about the Manning brothers, because they're the ones that have, they have a Edomite father that goes back to Jake. They still somehow look like Jakes, right? Those are all Jakes, okay? So yeah, I want a football player, NFL preferably, a tall chocolate one, because Eve is getting tired. That's not about Eve, but the Edomite woman is getting tired of the Edomite woman, and they are beginning to, run after Jake even more, right? Even in our low stage right now, because these NFL players, these NBA players, they are still glorified slaves, man. Sure, they make a little bit more money than a lot more money than the average person, but at the end of the day, the people making the real money are the owners, the front office that are making billions, while these dudes are getting change for freaking, CTE and all kinds of head injuries that fuck them up in their later years, right? That's how the NFL originally did not even want to let black athletes get medical attention for their CTEs because they didn't care, just a dumb motherfucker, right? That's how Esau sees you, Jakes. But let's keep going into it. That's easy, but you have to play your cards right. You can't be an emotional little girl. And she replies, teach me. Number one, he is the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. And this right here, right? This list that she's listing right here is the reason why I'm doing this video, because this Edomite woman is basically giving her sister the lowdown that, look, man, these jigs out here, these jigs that are making this money, they are on a different level, right? They are the important ones. You have to go to them. You have to humble yourself to them, submit to them. Basically, all the things that we that are in this street are constantly telling the men and the women of this world, right? And even the younger, Akiam and Akwata in this truth about the role of a man and a woman, especially when it comes to their relationships, right? Let's keep reading it anyway. Dealing with cheating, don't look for it. Girls will throw themselves at him, and some will succeed. If it's just a fling, let it go, and she put it in capital letters. But don't let him get emotionally attached to one of them. P.S. He'll always be attracted to black girls. Activate that shanana in her by picking at her and let him see it. He'll ditch her quick. LOL. Right, so she's basically giving him she's basically giving her sister, the understanding how to deal with um a Jake athlete, right? And basically gets him to marry you, because ultimately the main point, the man is the prize. And once again, this is just dealing with the Jake athletes that have some form of wealth in this side, on this side, right? When it comes to the men of the Lord, you're going to be seeing the exact same thing. Basically, you're going to be seeing the exact same thing with these women, right? Talking about how, like we just read, we've already read, we've already read Isaiah 4 verse 1, right? We will wear our own apparel, we provide our own bread, only let us be called by your name in order to hide our reproach. In this case, you're just trying to get that NFL bag, right? NFL money. But when it comes to Isaiah 4 verse 1, right? These women will be seeking the protection of a man of the Lord, because the man of the Lord in that day, right? Hey, you already know what you already know, because the man of the Lord will be the only covering in that day. But let's keep going into it. Yeah, let's keep going into it. If she's like us, it will be harder, because more than likely she's playing to win him, to make him choose. Be an asset to him, fold his clothes, buy and bring him his food, do his homework, completely integrate yourself in his life to where he can't function without you. Don't embarrass him, don't cheat, don't text other men. His cute friends and teammates will try you. Ignore it. Just in case the relationship goes south, another athlete will see you as gold, right? And this is also showing you how these athletes deal, man. Wicked as hell and treacherous, Still, knowing that, hey, your fellow, your teammates, or one of the, or basically of basically that another man is dealing with this woman, but you're still trying to get at her. You're still trying to, you're still trying to get at her. You're still trying to flirt, to toast her, how to deal with her. And that shows you how these athletes are, man. Yeah, that. And let's just keep reading. Let's just keep reading. Yeah, okay. Let's just keep reading. Go completely wild on him in bed. Use throat spray. Do any and everything. Be spontaneous. Make it go down anytime, anywhere. Let's see. His mom, do not tell his mom any personal information, especially something negative. She will tell his entire family and he'll blame you. Just smile and wave and be quiet. Always look good and appealing. Hair and face always has to be done. Push for marriage or at least to have multiple kids and you got him. In 2 years on draft day you'll be a millionaire and all your friends work hard in school to literally never live the life you live. It's so sweet and rewarding, Lex. I'm in Cancun right now. Yeah, man. So this is what for I think it was like what a few days ago. You had all these you had Eve, right, the so-called black woman out, completely going crazy that look at what these white women are talking about. Look at how these white women see you black men, right? And they're trying to paint it in a negative light that oh they are just using you for your money. They are just trying to make you. You're just trying to basically butter up to you and treat you right in order to be able to spend all your money, right? But that's the idea. That's what all women do, right? Isn't the same so-called black women that always go online? I need a provider. I need a man that can take care of me, that can bring out my femininity, right? And when she is asked, okay, what can you do for this man, right? Oh, I make this much money. Am I not enough, right? And it's all kinds of different ways of saying I don't plan on doing anything, right? This is why Jake isn't really dealing with this is why all these top athletes aren't really dealing with the so-called black woman like that, right? Because look, man, these, and that's why the apostles. That's why anyway. I don't really even know how else to put this, right? That's why the apostle said, you have to start dealing with some of these other women that are, look for a Becky that has, look for a so-called white woman that's basically a Jake, right? You have to stop dealing with, the southern kingdom women, right? Because this is how the so-called white woman, right? I don't really want to say either white because you never know, man. This could be Jake's right here talking about how you're going to land Jake, right? You never know, right? But this is how the so-called white women deal when it comes to these black athletes, and also, man, eventually the men of the Lord are also going to be getting this same type of treatment from the women as well, right? Because once the women realize where the safety and protection and actual, high value men are, right? That's where they'll ultimately flock to. Right, man. So let me see. I think there was another preset I wanted to bring out. Right, right. I just remembered there was another preset I wanted to bring out. 13. Um, how does that preset go? It's like I'm trying to remember how that preset goes from the Apostle Paul. Let's just do this. They do it to obtain. Here it is. This one I was looking for. First Corinthians 9, verse 25. Yeah, First Corinthians 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, right? So if you are going to the NFL, you are going to the NBA, all these major sports leagues, you don't have the amount of discipline and dedication and training it requires in order to be at that level to even qualify to get drafted into these leagues and make that millions of money, right? But at the end of the day, it is still a corruptible crown, right? Because riches, as the scripture says, maketh itself wings and fly away, right? And as the scriptures say once again that basically that you should not, roughly paraphrasing, right, that you should not put your trust in riches that the moth doth eat, right? Like basically that get corrupted and be destroyed, okay? But rather put your faith and your trust in the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And that's exactly what we that in this truth are doing. Because ultimately, and actually the book of Ecclesiastes, money is a defense and wisdom is a defense, but the excellency of wisdom is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Right. And right now, it's looking as though, at least to the people of this world, that is those guys that have all the money in the world. That's why you see so many people, all the people of this world, so obsessed with getting wealth, increasing wealth, and increasing, getting money, increasing wealth, right? Paper chasing and all that. But hey, man, we're getting to those times anyway. We're getting to those times, or rather, we're already in the times, okay, where the Most High, however, Sham Yahushai will raise up his men, right? Or I should say, will elevate his men in the eyes of the people of this kingdom. So, with that, I'm going to end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, however, Sham Yahushai, Basham Rakakwadash, Wa Abad Babalan through the spirits. I hope you are and you are quite edified. Shalom.